This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cage Side Press here with the title challenger for BKFC, the one, the only Energy Emery taking on Britain Hart, April 4th, BKFC Dubai. Ty, first off, let's work chronologically. Congratulations on Power Slap. I mean, I
Thank
gotta
you.
say, it always sounds a bit just like the street, but it's like you slapped the out of that girl. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How's the experience for you?
Honestly, I am in love with Power Slap. There's like just like this different sort of intensity compared to a fight, you know? Like I think I definitely get more of my kicks like that after show sort of kicks, you know, because everyone's on this weird high and I remember sitting there and I was like, I just I need a fight, you know? I was like, I get this out of fighting. You still get a little bit of the itch scratched through Power Slap, but there's just so many levels to it. And once I kind of realized that there's these different levels, and this isn't just like the different and very like particular techniques that Dana has like introduced for such a sport. But when you think about one, like this intensity of how close you are, there's full communication between two fighters or two athletes through eye contact. So although someone can be doing like this show, you both have these moments of eye contact where you're like, nah, bitch, I fucked you up. You know, like you've got like these unspoken things, and then you're also seeing like the visuals of how someone's face, you know, her face completely swelled from the first hit. So and seeing like their eyes roll back, like you have all these small like details, and then within each round you've got to control way more emotions, way more adrenaline, and then still remember this crazy technique. So I can understand like the different levels to become like a champion in that sort of promotion, just because you're needing to control all of these smaller intense things in such a short little like TikTok like span, you know? Like it's like the TikTok span of sport, because it's quick wham bam, you know, action there's 100% action, you know? Like you're 100% gonna see someone get hit.
I was gonna say, yeah, I just went to my second one. It's a different experience, and I think the crowd very much so. It's its own vibe. That's the thing I'm
It's
trying to
its own
get at.
vibe. It's like a party. Like it's like
Oh
this
yeah.
huge party vibe where it kind of reminded me of what is it when you everyone's having the barbecues out in the car park with football and
Oh,
stuff
like
like that.
a tailgate.
Yeah, like it has this tailgate, but like in-house sort of vibe where there's so many like recognizable faces. There's people either being flown in when it's outside of America, and then when it's in Vegas, it's obviously I feel like almost every face, every bum on seat is someone of someone, you know. So even that just gives it this element of like VIP exclusivity. Like this is the newest thing that's being dropped. And that makes it just like even ever more exciting. I think it's yeah, I think this is just like I think it's super exciting, especially for the multifaceted athletes like myself, where we're able to luckily be branded as you know our main fighter. Like you know we're all mostly fighters, and then you're able to like branch out and like be these characters and brought in as like this you know gangster enough to let themselves get slapped in the face.
No, I completely get what you're saying. Um, uh, I'm gonna tie it back to Power Slap in a minute, but very shortly after your match, they announced it, BKFC going to Dubai, obviously being located now in the Middle East for a minute. There's a lot of talk getting you on the card. They announce it, and it's for the title. You have been putting so much work that I think a lot of people may not realize. A lot of time in Thailand, just training, no fights, injuries, illness, etc. I have to imagine to be at this point now where they're putting you on the poster, putting you on a mainline event for the official title against the main roster champion in your division. I mean, I have to imagine the emotions are very hard to express.
Yeah, I have like no words. Even just like hearing these things is just so I get stuck, just because there's been like the longest journey. And I really think that this journey for me even starts as from when I was a kid, that's when I first realized like I've got to fight to survive or fight to live or fight to just be able to be recognized to do anything in life. I always feel like I kind of had like that little not well, yeah, step back. I didn't really have like the easiest upbringing. Went through two adopted homes. I ended up becoming an electrician. Even that was like the first of its kind. Um, and then just yeah, being stuck in Thailand, which I ended up staying there what 4 years, and just like really developing myself and just putting in the hard yards. Nothing's really changed for me training wise now that I'm in Dubai. It's just like a lot safer environment and it's like a lot healthier. And I've found teammates that, are perfect size for me. And also, they're just all out of Uzbekistan or Russia or, just have also lived these sporting lives. Like, there's not anyone on my team where I can look to where they have like this grasp of knowledge or like shoulder to lean on and be like, hey, how would you want to develop this? Obviously, I like to take things under my, in control of myself as well, because I did come from American football. I learned so much when I was playing and became an all-star defense player. Like I learned so much being around the NFL and MLB and being able to develop myself as like a real athlete. So yeah, just like the journey to now, did I ever think I was going to get here? You bet your bottom dollar, because I wasn't going to stop until it came. Like, I think anyone who's ever met me definitely knows that. So to see it all kind of like start to come now, I've, they put a ring out, I jump through the ring, then they set the ring on fire, I'll jump through the ring with fire. Then they're putting ill-captated, mutated sea bass or whatever under the water, and I'll jump over that too. Um, but
If there's
eventually,
sharks in the water, you'll jump over it too.
yeah, eventually people can't like unsee the hard work or how I perform and execute in my fights. And you can't unsee hard work and you can't unsee talent. You can deny it for as long as you want, but eventually, like this is where I deserve to be, and that's why David and Connor and BKFC have chosen me to be the challenger. A nice thing is actually Britt herself has said she's honored to be sharing against me, and there's having to challenge her. So even just having that sort of like, like, yeah, you deserve to be in there. We both know like this is going to be an amazing fight for the both of us. I think that's what any true champion would want. They want the best to come through, and she wants to know that she's the best, and I want to challenge just to make sure that I stamp my ground as the best.
Well, I love that. I think that anyone who's followed the journey will definitely identify that I think a lot of people feel like your career began the night you scored the victory and the shirt might have risen a little bit, maybe on purpose. I know, right? But you've been putting in so much work that I think a lot of people don't know. In terms of the mood for the fight, forgive me, did you ever get to a title game when you were playing football?
No, we never did, and I blame Justin Bieber for that.
What did he do? What did the Beebs do?
Because we were playing, I played for Vegas Sin, and then they like closed the team down. So either people were put in Omaha or, sent to Atlanta, and I was taken on by the LA Temptation. So I think there was just too many tempting things for my teammates and the girls. And I remember I was staying with our wide receiver, and she lived in the Hollywood Hills. So we're already like up in this fancy mansion, and she's going out and meeting all these people, and uh even Jamie, I think it's Jamie Foxx, or oh man, I've got it wrong, but they kind of like really backed our team because everybody loves football, and we're going off into like the playoff games, which you win that one and you're in the championship. And I remember being at home and all the girls are like, we're going to the party, and I was like, girls, we have a game in like 1 or 2 days. I forget, the timeline, but it was like, hey, we have like we have the most important games of our lives. Fuck Justin Bieber. Sorry, Justin Bieber. I really like your music now, but for a long time I was really damaged and could not listen to you. Anyway, all the girls went to this Justin Bieber party. I rock up to training the next day, and I'm a team captain, and there was like maybe four of us there, and I was the one who got in trouble and had to take the blame because the coach said that it was my fault that everybody went. So as a captain, I took that. I took that right on the chin, and I think I was even benched for half the game because of that. So even that was like really hard for me because I'm like watching everyone play and they're all either hungover still, and just for the longest time I was just like, damn Justin Bieber, like oh. And if I do ever meet him, I will be telling him, hey, just want you to know you fucking held a party and you took my teammates away from me.
Do you
You
mind if I
can't
ask
fight that.
how bad did you guys do you remember how bad you guys lost?
Remember, we got slaughtered.
Oh
we got
no. Freaking.
we got slaughtered, and I just remember thinking, I'm like, I'm riding my bicycle at like before the sun rises to get to Extreme Couture in Vegas to train. Then I ride my bike back 45 minutes before sunset so that it's not too hot, so that I'm at the gym, I'm training, I'm living at my quarterback's house. Thank you, the Cummings. I was like giving up all this stuff, and I just remember being like thinking, oh, there really is like there's no I in team, like it's a team effort. So yeah, I just remember when we were slaughtered, I was just like, just silence, just radio silence.
Hey, winning isn't for everybody, clearly. That is criminal. Oh my gosh, that's a hilarious story. No Bieber in Dubai. He's got his own life. He's a dad now, I think they said, so good for him. He should be
Yeah.
busy. He can't mess with the coaches and the teammates. Um, let's talk about a little bit Britain Hart. Obviously a bare knuckle veteran. I think she was one of the first, if not the first, part of the first women's fight for bare knuckle. What are your thoughts on her game and what she brings to the table?
I think she brings a lot, and I think a lot of people have overlooked her abilities, just because maybe she's fought UFC fighters, she's fought like Pearl Gonzalez, Pedro Zant. The only ones she's ever lost to is Christine Ferreira, or people who are literal like world champions in their own weight division. So that just shows she always takes on a challenge. She's in and like never given up. There's been a few bloodbaths, and she's got this passion and heart that just does not, want to back down. So I think she's got adapted like this amazing like jab. She's got this crazy good jab, and a good striking boxing style, and she's just created her own legacy through BKFC. Like she's been able to adapt all of her skills as well as like her body type to her own game. She's had so much more ring time than me. I feel like I'm still learning how to color, and figure out like how I want to be in there. Which to me, that's like the exciting part, because I think every time you step in, one, you don't know how she's going to react. So you don't know how you're going to react. And I think that's like the exciting part of BKFC, is that every single fight is like new and developing. But I think she's an amazing champion. She's defended the title 4 times. She's an OG for a reason, and she holds that belt for a reason. So yeah, I'm excited to fight her. I think this is, obviously this is the biggest challenge to date. She's got a really, really credible resume.
I think it's going to be a great fight. I think when we talk about this, the really cool thing about your career, having followed you and been friends for a long time, is the fact that you kind of have several irons in the fire. So obviously, this is a huge opportunity. It's your priority. I have to imagine things go well. You have a good showing. Getting tied to America for Knucklemania or something of that sort has to be the next step, right? I mean, I feel like it's the only thing missing from this ride you've been on at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I think COVID stopped the first one. The second time it was the management team that I was with, and BKFC's like someone didn't give a bout agreement that was meant to be submitted or something like this. So when you got the belt, like things change. I'm in the right hands now with Clocked and Loaded. I'm also now doing Power Slap, so I'm under Dana White's. I'm one of Dana White's athletes as well, so that's really hard to like overlook. Um, yeah, that's the next step. America is always the next step, and it's the pinnacle of sport. Like America is where you can make your dreams come true. I lived there for 6 years during all of my football, and I can definitely see why it's been this sort of journey until now. Before it's about to begin again, is just so that I could develop it and I think be more present. Uh, last time when I was in America, I was a TMZ celebrity, and it took me like 6 months until someone was like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, I had no idea. That's cool." And I didn't realize that sort of what that even like level sort of meant for myself. Just because I really like my life. I love it. I enjoy like just training, eating snacks. Then I got the dog, so I just love my dog, and I kind of like forget about all of that sort of stuff. I think stepping back in, I think you need to understand those things to be able to like take it to just like the peak of like everything. So I can, yeah, like I said, I think I needed to find my team. I needed to find where I could feel safe. And then the journey in America will be a lot of cool cross training and learning and developing, knowing where my base can be for my fight camps, but also just taking on, yeah, the American opportunity.
Ooh, speaking of which, so under Power Slap now, I guess, what can you explain about how it all works? Like, have is there enough communication that says, hey, you're not going to fight until this date, so you're free to do Power Slap in between? Power Slap knows you got your bare knuckle obligations. Is everyone on the same page? What can you tell me,
Yes.
if you can, about that?
100%. Everyone's on the same page because we want to thank Lionel. Lionel's one of my managers. We've got a team, Lionel and Andrew, both completely opposite characters, and I freaking love them. Lionel has everything organized and, making sure that everyone's on the same page and making sure that I get the most out of my opportunities that I'm going to bring just by being myself. So I do remember even reading in the contract, winning the belt, not winning the belt. I'm still allowed to be one, do power slap, also jump over and do misfit boxing, which is an influencer. All of them kind of like, so everyone's on the same page, and I love like I love that because now it means that I can one, stay busy. I can try and put I can't go 115, 2 months later, 115 pounds again. Like this camp is like really serious. Anyone who knows and has done real weight cuts for sport to take that advantage for the size knows how serious like the food is, the training is, the recovery is after. So for me, it's been whispered, and I even get to speak with Frank. So Frank's the guy who is like under Dana, running Power Slap. So there's talks of International Fight Week for UFC. So I should be on this card, which is June, last week of June, which is awesome because that weight I'm at 130. I slap at 135, so that's 61 kilos. This allows my body as a female to like just get that rebalance happening, redevelop other skills. For me, I really liked my power slap training because I did a lot more like strength and conditioning and Olympic lifting, and I got to like put more focus on some of the stuff that you wouldn't get to do in camp. Like I'm addicted to doing the speedball. I loved doing 3 rounds of like 15 minutes, and that's like developing different techniques and stuff like that. So I kind of like it because I feel like I'm back doing my phases of training similar to how I would in a football season, like with off season, in season. Do I get 2 weeks? Are we having a 2 week bye? Are we playing back to back every weekend? So I really love I love like that sort of aspect in the process of just being an athlete and fighter. So yeah, everyone's on the same page, and if everyone stays on the same page, which they will, it just means one, more eyes on each of the sports because everybody likes to see a pretty face get punched, or everyone likes to see a pretty face get slapped. People are drawn to that energetic kind of crazy that I really kind of emit.
I might have noticed. I might have noticed. Side note, and I'm gonna assume that you gotta wait and see how everything plays out. Is there any more talk about an official debut date for you in Misfits boxing? That's the one thing we haven't gotten on the books yet for you.
So once I signed for the 115 belt with BKFC, it was literally 24 hours. Mams is like, "Are you ready? We've got April 20, I think it was like April 21st, 4th, 1st, Julie Poker." And I was like, "You literally just missed me by 24 hours because you know, I signed with them when I was in England over a year ago. And I'd been, you're always given like these different dates with all promotions. Even with the BKFC belt, we were told last November, this February, now it's April 4th. So I got told February for Misfits, and then I didn't hear anything and wasn't hearing any sort of update. So yeah, like I said, that we missed out by 24 hours, but that's still on the cards, and it still will happen. Um, because I really want to be able to pull the gloves on. I think the influencer boxing route is like exciting and entertaining. And it just helps develop my skills rather than like steering anything from my focus, which is BKFC. They all kind of feed like this development as a boxing style football player, Muay Thai fighter, to develop it like in the sport. So I was meant to fight Julie Poker. It's pretty cool now to see kind of how it is. The girl that she's fighting now, Aria, I'd just been speaking with her previously, and I remember I just like said, "You're a character. You're perfect for Misfit." Who knows? Like I said, maybe you'll end up being the one like going for this title. So it's pretty cool to see what can kind of change, two people's lives in sport. So she's now, yeah, taking this opportunity. It would be crazy if she can beat Julie Poker and then I end up fighting her. I'm like, oh, that'd be, well, here we are. Let's go. But, that's sport. And I think, I don't know, I've heard a lot of my competitors, even Nicole, she was the BKFC girl I did power slap against. She was like, "I'm trying to hate you." And she's like, "But you're just so nice and sweet."
Oh, that's
And
sweet.
even in my interview with like Bisbing, he's like, "What do you think of your opponent?" My first answer was, I said, "She's in my way." And then we just kind of stared at each other, and he goes, "I mean, like, say, what do you think about her?" And even then, I went, "Okay, like." She's taken on by Marab. That shows she's got a high level of respect. People at that sort of level, they don't just take someone in to let them watch them train or help them develop if they're not someone of some form of character and skill level. So, she once she kind of heard these things, she was like, "You're just so nice," but it made it fun. And she was a competitor as well. So it for me, if someone wants to like hate and do this sort of drama, and even Britta said that, she goes, "This is going to be one of my first fights where we don't have any of this surrounding drama or BS, like this weird beef." She's like, "So I'm really excited just to have like true girl power and like have like a different form of like respect that's coming through, especially for something that's a bare knuckle, where it's all blood, grime, passion, and heart." So I think I don't know, maybe how maybe just be yourself. Don't do just be yourself, whatever.
I love it. Final one, you hear Paige Van Sant talking about bringing the title to Power Slap. The way I see it is that so many doors could open. Particularly, I feel like Misfits would love a bare knuckle champion as well crossing over. I feel like Power Slap would love the added benefit. I feel like everyone would love it. I feel like you are just kind of like the Trojan horse, kind of gonna bring everything into the other houses, so to speak. I think it's an exciting time. I see you glowing. I see you ready. You look strong. As your friend who's been following you a long time, all I could say is I'm just so happy for you that it's finally happening. I'm so happy to
Yeah.
hear that all of this is happening for you. So just best of luck, Ty. Britain Hart. April 4th, BKFC Dubai. Back-to-back nights for the ladies. Center stage the whole
Yes.
weekend. I think that's really awesome. And
Me too. Co-main events for both. I think that's perfect. They've got the perfect headliners with Trout and Kai, and the respective challenges for those guys. I think they've like played it off really awesome and to give it's Dubai. This is like one of the biggest stages. It's one of the newest, like beautifulest cities in the world. So to have the women on the co-mains, I think that's really gonna like up the game. I know, in the past they've had a few female fights where David's even gotten on and just completely slaughtered them. And I feel like with these opportunities with both female fights, that we're going to be able to like bring something back and really establish like the women in this game.
the only ironic thing, they have once again booked you for a place where that shirt better not move 1 inch.
That's why I wasn't on the live for Power Slap because they were like, Lionel, can you keep her under control? And I was like, guys, like I didn't flash in Japan. I flashed one time. Like you show a titty to the world, and you kind of hex
So
for life. Uh, so I kind of like that they know they're like, can she be controlled? Because deep down, like, no, actually, I really can't be controlled. But I'm also super polite and logical, and I hate disrespecting. Like, I would never just intentionally disrespect. And how was I meant to know that it was going to go so viral, like literally globally viral? Like, come on, guys. It
you
was
got
marketing genius. At least give me the kudos.
you got other girls doing it. That's how viral it was. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
true.
Uh,
I'm still getting thanks for that. I'm still getting people like going, Ty doing God's work. And I was like,
you really are. You really did the Lord's work in the fight game, I gotta say. It just took one and suddenly everyone's doing it. It's beautiful. Ty, April 4th, Britain Hart, BKFC 115 championship fight, co-main event. You guys are not gonna want to miss it. Best of luck, my friend.
cheers.